I want to get back to the AI and ML. I think we've touched on. You've mentioned that you're working with a couple of groups. How does that simplify the programming process? What's the new way of programming?
So MechMind's a 3D scanning software that, think if we're bin picking, in the past, you had to train the camera your part, give it 3, 4, 5 examples of each part you want it to pick. MechMind's to the point where it'll take a picture of the debris field of parts, and you can just go on your screen, and one of the demos we do is picking candy bars. We can say that's a Hershey's, that's a Twix, that's Almond Joy. And we can do that right on our computer screen and then tell the robot to go pick the Almond Joy. Now, in typical bin picking, it's going to go down and pick. MechMind actually looks at the orientation of that candy bar sitting in the bin and goes in at the angle to pick it at an optimal angle. So it's pre-programming that path to pick up parts. Wonderful tool. It's out of China. Price point blows you away. If you're an integrator, this is something you have to add. If you're a distributor, why you're not carrying this is crazy. I do have a few military customers I can't use it in as a result, but a lot of my business is industrial. And this is a $18,000 version of what other people are selling for 65 grand. Cost savings of a half to 2/3 of what comparable products out there, less time to set up, literally out of the box, it works. The other one that we debuted last week that actually will program the path of the robot is a company called Augmentus, Augmentus. And Augmentus can use everything from a 3D laser locator scanner to 2D cameras creating a 3D image. And they're less expensive version. You take your iPad, you scan your part, you shade in with a stylus where you want the weld, where you want the paint, where you want it ground, where you want it sanded, anything path planning. And within about 4 minutes, it generates the robot code. So for instance, we demoed a motorcycle can to polish. If a robot programmer sat down, it would be a couple days to program that path, get the right force feedback, all that. This is generating all that in 4 minutes. So from days to minutes in programming, and you're not really programming, you're just running an iPad.
But so if I understood it correctly, you scan, so you create a 3D model of the part, or you can maybe import in something from AutoCAD and then you can apply the
Don't need
path.
AutoCAD. And what we showed last week was actually a LMI Gocator 3D scanner. So basically, if you put your part in the table, the cell, if you will, it doesn't have to be in a perfect spot. You just bolt it down. The robot comes in, scans it, shows you a 3D rendering almost immediately. Mm-hmm. You then, like on the polishing app, you just shade in where the can is, and then it'll generate the code. You can go and tweak that code. Maybe you want it to dwell in that corner on that angle a little less or a little bit more. Maybe you want a double weld versus a single weld. You can tweak those. So about 4 minutes to generate the code. Our programmers will spend another 10, 15 minutes maybe just playing with parameters. They run a simulation on it real quick. They hit go and it runs. So no robot code. And that is a game changer for our customers. This Augmentus is huge for path planning. MechMind we really like for pick and place. And again, they don't both do the same things. What we're seeing in AI and robotics is there's a breakthrough here and over here. It's not all encompassing. It's more specific problems are being solved through this machine vision, which I'm going to make my robot guys upset and call it basic AI. They just hate the term that I use AI. And again, I looked at it and I go, you know what? I was doing this for the military, providing mathematicians to do this kind of stuff on jets for the last 20 years. And they didn't call it machine vision. They called it AI. I'll have that argument with anybody, but very advanced 3D machine vision type tools hitting the market. Yeah. What's cool about us is we tend to see these about 6 to 12 months before the market sees it. I have a guy named Blake Krieger. He's great at going out to these companies on LinkedIn and saying, hey, did you think of this? How are you going to handle that? What are you going to do here? So when they release their product, they fly to Minnesota and come to this tiny lab in Savage, Minnesota, and show Blake that they did a good job. as a result, we help them enter into the US market and we advocate for them as a result.